All right, welcome back to MGD 111, continuing to look at brush tools here. Today we're going to go under our brush tools palette and go to the mixer brush. Now this is kind of an interesting brush. I need to first select a size so we can actually see what we're doing here. This kind of works like a real paintbrush in that it picks up color and it swashes it around. So let's take a look at some of our settings up here. We have wet, wet light, very wet, dry, moist, etc. If you've ever done oil painting or acrylics painting, these should sound familiar. I'm just going to go with wet for now. And we have the opacity, the load, the mix, etc. What does that do? Well, if I hold down the Option key and select an area here, you'll notice I have this little thumbnail that looks like the area selected. So what's that going to do? Well, let me start drawing, and you'll see it's kind of putting that little area all over the thing. Now you notice it's fading too. The more I do it, the less intense that particular image is. What's happening is the load here, it only has so much paint. It's picking this up as paint, and the brush is getting drier and drier as we go along. Now that seems kind of weird, but let's take another look at, some functions that we can do with this. Sorry, I want to get to my right state of the picture here. Okay, there we go. We want to, instead of this little icon here, this little thumbnail, instead of that, let's go to Load Solid Colors Only and try that again. So what's going to happen here is we're going to select an area, say this red, and it's loaded it up with just that shade of red. So as we brush, it's going to put more and more of that red paint wherever it is that we're drawing. And again, it's kind of losing its intensity as we go. But it's sort of a neat way to be able to paint over something. If we select, say, an area here, of her hair, we can just sort of kind of paint over her hair and just sort of make it look like just kind of a basic painting rather than a photograph. And if we change the flow and the mix, we can allow some of the detail to show through. And by the way, much like some of our other things that we've worked on here, as soon as we have done a step, we can go to Fade Mixer Brush, and we can allow a little bit more of the detail to show through. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to click Cancel there. So the Mixer Brush is sort of an interesting tool. We have to continually reload it with colors and spread them around. But it's kind of neat that we're able to take a certain area of a picture and just sort of brush with it. If we increase the wetness of it, you'll see it's a little bit more faded. If we make it a little more dry, you can see it's a little more intense. So experiment around with that. Just try to think of it as working like a real paintbrush. And again, this is just sort of a strange artistic brush that we can use to create some sort of painterly effect in our Photoshop. So that's kind of a neat thing that we can do here. So experiment with that, enjoy, and we'll come back to this in a moment.